enjoy about riding in winter is just it's brisk, so I don't drink caffeine really much in the winter because I have on my bike and it's frigid, but I arrive to work very alert and woken up. So there's kind of small things that are slightly different from in the winter season. And also it's really quiet. Going out for a bike ride on a snowy night is very serene. The sound just kind of gets absorbed into the snow, and it's a very, very nice experience. Oftentimes, if you are riding your bike in winter, you're riding a little bit more cautiously because of ice, as you stated. And so that can frustrate drivers. But I mean, I don't honestly think it's a whole lot different riding in the winter than it is in the summer. So I don't know, maybe beware of things icing up on your bike. Components can get wet from road conditions and then freeze up when it's parked in the rack, and all of a sudden a lot of the things that used to move don't. That can be quite frustrating. I guess that's probably something to be cognizant of. That's a little bit more constructive rather than negative in terms of talking about other people on the road.
You always want to have a mirror. You always want to ride single file. You always want to ride with the traffic and stay as far right as possible. And hopefully most roads will have a bike path on them and stay in the bike path.
They're very simple and egalitarian. They're such a cheap mode of transportation, and most people have access to them or have a means of gaining access to them. And so it's a nice form of transportation that costs very little money. It's very efficient. It's very effective at getting you from A to B. And it's kind of liberating to not be reliant on other things, whether it's a mechanic that knows more about your car than you do, or fuel sources that are from maybe not so stable countries.
I was a heavy cigarette smoker, and a friend of mine was trying to get me off of cigarettes so I could ride on RAGBRAI. So he says, you need to ride your bike. Every time you want a cigarette, you need to go on a bike ride. And then when you get off of the cigarettes, we will do RAGBRAI. So in 1976, I did my first bike ride, RAGBRAI, across the state of Iowa.